I'd like to call the meeting of the Princeton City Council to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Mabry.
Here.
Councilmember Newman. Here. Gomez.
Here.
McCall. Here. McCransky.
Here.
Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and open up with our public comment period. We have public comment at the beginning of the meeting as well as at the end, and you're allowed to speak both times. Is there anybody who'd like to speak tonight to the council? Yes. Bob?
Yes, I will. You're going to get tired of it.
Nope, we're glad to have you, Bob.
Good evening. My name is Bob Warren. I live here in Princeton. Is this on?
It is.
Just talk loud. Just talk loud?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good at that. My kids can attest to that. I just want to bring it to your attention. You may already know this, that on November 30th of this year, the EPA has set about a plan to remediate lead pipe services in the U.S. It's a very aggressive plan. They plan to do that within 10 years, which is really aggressive. And believe it or not, I know you're going to find this very shocking, that Illinois is one of the top states that has lead service lines. There is hope. There is a $50 billion fund that's coming down the pike. Whether or not we're going to get any of it, who knows? I'm sure Chicago. Yes, Teresa.
We've applied for, or we're applying, I guess at this point, for the initial phase of it, which is the planning of the replacement. You have to do that part first,
Yep.
and then you go to the other.
Got to identify where they're at.
We're starting step one.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, very good. I assumed that you knew, you were aware of it, but just in case you're not, there's an opportunity to have federal funds pay for this, because it's going to be very expensive, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. That's why they've been in the ground for as long as they have. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Jackie, please.
Hi, I'm Jackie Davis. I live on Homer Street in Princeton. And I just have one suggestion. We used to have, the whole time I've lived in Princeton, spring cleanup days. And I've always looked forward to that, as have my neighbors. If you don't have a truck or a trailer or some way to get rid of your excess gear and stuff that just doesn't fit in a garbage can, you're pretty well stuck with it now. And it's not easy to find someone to haul it away. Now, I do realize that you can put stickers on them, but when you had the cleanup day, most of my, what I consider junk was gone before the city came through. And I think most of us realize that. People will come through and they'll scrap the metal. People will come through and a chair I thought was, shot, they'll take home to try to redo or something. And so we're not only making a time that we can get rid of stuff, but we're also recycling, keeping it out of the landfill. If each of us are putting our 5 stickers on every week on all of that stuff, it's just going to the landfill. And the people, when they know those weekends coming up, Princeton is just hot with trucks and people grabbing it. I've grabbed stuff off the curb. I mean, I'm no saint. I've seen some things and I can do something with that, which usually shows up on my curb next year. But I would just like you to consider that as you work on your budget, because I think it is a really good service for Princeton and something that we need. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that. Yeah, the thought was, we're going to have the mechanical arm garbage trucks in play a lot sooner, so we really have kind of skated along on this. So we as a council can talk about that. We have a street superintendent, Quint Quirm, who will be retiring in January, and as we work to find a new street superintendent, that'll be something on their list, as well as I would anticipate that we call it the brush area there, that when you go to take your grass clippings and brush, sometimes it's like a lake there trying to dump off things, so we hope we can upgrade that in an economical way too. So we got some things in the works. So thank you, Jackie. Okay, we're going to go ahead then, if there's no more public comment, we'll go ahead to the minutes, please, Jerry.
Move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on November 20th, 2023.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any questions or comments from the council about the minutes? Seeing none, clerk call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you. Now we'll go to the invoices, please.
For this period, in the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have invoices totaling $57,363.27. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $67,591.89. In the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $305,787.44. And in the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $380,121.09, for a total of $810,863.69. Mayor, all council members present have reviewed all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you, Pete.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-23-019. This is an ordinance authorizing a fiber lease agreement with MTCO Communications Incorporated. This is the first reading. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this lease and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we advance ordinance O-23-019 to the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and second. I believe Teresa is going to give us an update on what this is about, so we have a better handle on it, please.
To make this very simple, if you have technical questions on fiber, talk to Jeff. But basically, all this is to allow the city to enter into an agreement with MTCO for dark fiber lease. In your packet, the last page of that ordinance section there behind the map, that's a really good breakdown of the nuts and bolts of what we're looking at. We're looking at a 20-year term, which is a little bit longer than we normally go. So this is a little bit longer term. So it's basically at a $350 per mile rate for a total of $787.50 per year for the fiber as our annual maintenance cost. But we do have a one-time upfront fee of a little over $13,000 that we will see from this. So this is running from Fairgrounds to OSF. So it's for 4 strands of fiber, which is a total of, I think, 9 miles. Yep, 9 miles for 2.25 miles distance. So, any questions on that?
Is that part of next year?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, possibly. We could see it this year, actually.
This fiscal.
And is MTCO the ones that are currently putting the fiber in that we saw the activity on?
No.
This is the ones from the year before that were
Yeah.
here. Okay, great. Remember those folks, MTCO. Okay, any other questions from the council? No? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is ordinance O-23-020. This is an ordinance levying taxes for corporate purposes, commencing on the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2024, ending on the 30th day of April 2025. This is the first reading. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we advance ordinance O-23-020 to the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Teresa, would you like to expand on that for us?
Okay, everybody has the levy sheet in front of you that kind of goes through the calculations of what this looks like, but it looks like we'll be a total levy on the city side of $1,637,950, and then on the library side it'll be $639,239. So combined, about $2.2 million on total being levied. On the worksheet, to try to keep this as simple as possible. There's a lot of numbers flying around on the sheet. From last year's EAV, which is your equalized assessed value, which is really what sets the basis of what we need to set the percentages against. We did increase by up to 8.26% increase in EAV. If you remember last year, we had a significant EAV increase of, I think it was closer to 20%. So we are still increasing at a decent amount. That will come into play when I get down here at the bottom of the sheet, so keep that number in mind. Our EAV increased to 170 million and some change there, up from 157. So you can see that increase there. Off to the side, you'll see that orange box. Oh, just so you realize there's to the left side is the 2022 levy, and then we have the proposed 2023 levy on the other side. The orange box is highlighting your pensions. So for police and fire, with the fire protection being, make sure I follow across here, police at 648 and fire at 742,000. These are actually at 100% of what the actuarials are requesting. So we are not coming under what was being suggested for us. We are fully funding these at what is being suggested. So that's good. We were talking a little bit before the meeting, we are ahead of the game with most communities when it comes to that. So I feel really good about that. However, what that does, when we want to make sure these are fully funded, is it affects a couple of the other funds. Corporate, which is kind of comes into our general, does take a little bit of a hit. I think we'll be okay there because the amount of debt we see fall off this year, we'll be able to make that balance out. We'll be comfortable. The goal in the levies here, last year, the year before, is to stay under that 5% threshold so you don't have to go through the truth in taxation. And to be fair. You want to be fair to the residents. So we want to try to keep this as stable as possible. The last 3 years, for sure, we've tried to keep the levies as steady, stable as possible. So you'll see down at the bottom, the tax rate will be a 1.3368 in total. This is for the city and the library together, which is actually down. If you're looking at your tax bill, it'll actually be down from last year, but the EAV went up. So the rate might go down, but your EAV is going up. So EAV is good to go up, but you'll see the impact on your tax bill.
So the rate goes down, but the EAV went up 8.26 for this year. Okay.
So your bill will still probably go up.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions on this so far? I do want to make a note. We do have the combined levy because we do have the city of Princeton, plus we have the public library. We came in at a change of 4.995% for the city, and the library came in at a 4.24, which is a combined 4.78%. One of the items in the library's levy, which I'm anticipating a change shortly, a couple of years down the road, they do have a bond out. So they do levy for that bond, which does increase the amount. So in 2026 will be the end of that bond. So we'll see some relief when it comes that year. So, any questions? Well, let me know if you see anything, because we will have another reading. So, this is really the first step of starting the next budget process, which is you'll start to see the schedule for that in a couple of weeks. So we'll be starting that. We'll also be starting the amendments for this budget, the fiscal year that we're in right now.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got it under control, Tricia.
Doesn't always feel like it.
Yes, I think we all got those letters from the county with our equalized assessed valuation. Mine seemed like everything was like 6.6% up, but I'm not complaining. Okay, we're good. Okay, are we good? Teresa, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to vote on that. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall. Aye. McCransky. Mayor Mabry.
Aye. Thank you, Pete. I'll go to the city manager report, please.
I feel like I'm talking constantly here. I don't have anything formally under my my report here, but I do want to touch on two things real quick. The applications for the street superintendent are out there, or the request for applications. Just a reminder, the job description and the announcement are on our website as well. If anybody's interested, spread the word. And then we also have some items up for bids still on Facebook. So if you're interested in any of the items, get your bids in, and we'd love to get rid of our stuff.
So we don't have to put it out on cleanup day.
Very good. Anything else, Teresa?
No.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Teresa. Now we'll go down to the mayor's report. And before I step down to the mic, I do want to say that the community looks great. The combination of the street department working with the new garlands and things that they do with the lights, the electric department with the bucket trucks and all they do. Those two departments really are the heavy lifters, and they do a nice job. And when you go down our community at night or first thing in the morning, and then Jerry had made a report to us out at the Lovejoy Homestead. The lights out there, that is really cool. If you want to see something neat.
Big improvement.
It's
beautiful.
It's first class. You need to go look at that. That's really sharp. So kudos to the different departments, and we appreciate Jerry working with that committee to get those lights energized around that building. It's sharp. It's very sharp. So I'm going to run down to the podium here real quick. We've got a few things to bring up. Okay, we have the segment called Positive Princeton, and just share a couple of quick things with you, and then we got a few people we're going to introduce this evening. At Friday night's lighted parade, one of the things that the city did is we had a float. One of our little wagon floats was a trailer, an old-fashioned wagon, and on the side it said, "Give the gift of kindness." And I think in today's world, we need more kindness. And so a couple weeks ago, I gave you a homework assignment asking you to send a couple of thank you cards or cards of gratitude to people. And tonight, I'm going to give the council another assignment. It's a simple thing. It's these little ducks. The little duck comes in 3 colors, and it says Merry Christmas on there. And in a world where maybe we can't figure out how to get these kids' attention because they're on their screens and they seem to need to be given a stimulus from something electronic, to walk in the parade and hand out these ducks to these kids, they would stop and they were just so tickled to get a duck. And so it's fun to watch them. So you have 3 ducks that you're each going to take home and hand out to people that you see might just need a little smile. And okay, so I appreciate council doing that. And for you folks here tonight, we always include you in the same homework assignment. As you leave, there's a whole bunch of those ducks that, as I was laying them out there, our police chief, who made a very astute comment, he said, Mayor Mabry's getting his ducks in a row. And so they're over there in rows, so we appreciate that. I don't take that wrong. I think that's good. You know what I mean? One of the benefits of being the mayor is I got a chance to ride with the chief the other day, and I got to ride in the front seat instead of the back. So our perks of being mayor. So we're going to go on now, and we're going to go to Positively Princeton. And tonight we're going to have Jim Argo, representing the Lions Club, come up, and we're going to have Jenica Cole, representing the Princeton Chamber of Commerce, come up and give us a quick report of what's going on. Okay, please? Glad to have both of you.
Good evening. We're glad to be here tonight after a great weekend we had. First thing we're thankful for is the rain stopped in time for the parade. We were worried just a little bit about that, but everything came and went off very well. We had a very successful weekend. Hopefully you got a chance to get out to see the activities at the Veterans Park, the arrival of Santa and the lighting of the Christmas tree, the parade, and then the candy cane hunt down at Soldiers and Sailors Park. It was a very active weekend, a very good turnout of people coming to see the different activities. I think from what I heard from different ones is the biggest crowd we've had yet. And we've had a lot of positive comments about the lighted parade, so I think we will continue it for another year. At least. Then on Saturday, I'll let Jenica talk about Saturday. But I'm here just to be positive and thank the different people that were involved in this. The city was involved very much in this. We had Pete Nelson working with Adams to help with the closures of the roads and getting the proper paperwork done. The street department helped get the barricades out for the blockage of different crossings. And Connie Lynn was very active in the trolley and also in the parade. The mayor was in the parade. We were happy to see that. Hopefully next year we'll get all of you involved in the parade, either in the float or the trolley or something. The electric department, I don't know if you got a chance to see, they had a very special entry into the parade. And we have different categories of the parade that we have a trophy for. And the electric department won this one for Government City.
All right, that's great.
They're very excited to show the picture of their float, and I said, well, just leave it on there until the end of Christmas and drive around like that.
Also, with all the activities that were going on this weekend, two individuals that were very dedicated and very helpful for the Lions Club and all the activities going on was Police Chief Tom Kamer. He was part of our committee. He was there for just about every meeting we had. We met usually on Friday mornings at 7 o'clock at the Proudy Building. And I want to thank he and Tom for all the work that you guys did in helping with the road closures and getting all these things set up. Thank you very much. The other person is right here standing behind me. Jenica, very instrumental in all the things that we've been doing. The Lions Clubs cannot do this on their own. We need help, and Jenica stepped up, and we have incorporated the Lions Club and the Chamber in doing these activities. So, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. I think the parade was a hit. I think the lighted parade really, there was something about that nighttime parade and everybody with their lights. We had 40...
There are 42 entries and 4 that did not show.
Yes. So for the first year, that was, we thought was very successful. Something that we also need to mention is something I've struggled with for the last 3 years of the tree lighting is getting some live music. And I was always trying to get the high school band, at least Princeton's band, to come play, or the Barber Shoppers, or the Bureau County Chorus. And we can never just quite get it right. But this year we had the Princeton High School Band, the Bureau Valley Band, and the Hall High School Band team up. They lit up their instruments, and they had 2 numbers in the park for us, and then they walked in the parade together. And I just thought that was fantastic, and that's what should be happening. So I had extended the invitation to Spring Valley because Spring Valley has a very successful lighted parade. Hopefully we can maybe piggyback and work together in the future. So our nights don't compete, but it'd be cool to have some of their floats come over and maybe vice versa since the kids are not working together. So that was really special. And thank you to Mayor Mabry for coming and lighting the tree with Santa. He was tickled that you came, so that was very fun. There was a lot of chaos behind the scenes, so I wish I invited Jeff to come tonight. I was trying to tell him he didn't win an award, his department didn't win an award, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. About an hour before, we had been testing that tree in that darn rain, and the electrical, the tree wouldn't light. And so we had a little bit of an issue, but he figured it out. So that was, there's always chaos. And I don't know if you guys all heard, but around that same time frame, somebody decided to put on Let's Talk Princeton that all of the events in Princeton was canceled for the evening, which spread like wildfire. And so it wasn't Princeton, Illinois, it was Princeton, Iowa. So I'm hoping that didn't hurt our crowd any, but we tried to correct that information on wonderful Facebook. So But thank you all. I'm sure most of you heard, saw pictures, or attended. So we appreciate your support. And if there's any way that you would love to get involved, whether it's your family, your community organization, or your business next year, we'd love to have you on board. We don't have a very big committee, but it is Jim and myself, Scott Smith, who is a Lions Club member. Scott is wonderful. Tim Bissonette, owner of Midwest Incentive Solutions. Lynn Olds, who's the administrator at Greenfield Retirement Home. David Kleinfelter with Liberty Village. Who am I missing?
Jason Allen's.
Jason Allen from Lions Club. Vanessa Hoffeditz from the Bureau County Food Pantry. We should also mention that these events are to support our food pantry. Their need right now is 60% greater than it was a year ago. So there are still bins around town. There was a post that went out about all those locations. So you can still donate through December 15th, I believe, was the date that was set.
Yes.
So again, thank you for everyone's support. We greatly appreciate it. The lighted parade is scheduled for Friday, December 6th next year. One thing I want to mention from a chamber standpoint, to remember to shop local and support our small businesses this season. We're doing the Loyal to Local program again this month. Same premise as the Monopoly boards for Shop Small Saturday. These booklets will be out and about starting in the morning. So just carry them around with you, and just remember that it's super important to support our local businesses. That helps our economy, our community thrive, and so if you see these around, that's what they're all about. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tom. Okay. So yeah, there's actually two benefits of being mayor. I had a chance to talk to the big guy, Santa Claus, off to the side, and I put my request in for a new John Deere Gator with a cab. But I went home and told my wife that, and then she nixed that, so I don't know if that's going to happen. So anyway, you got to start at the top though and work your way down. When we think about positive things from Princeton, we think about different businesses and what they do for our community. And tonight, I'm very pleased that we can have with us tonight the owner of the Culver's restaurant here in Princeton. That would be Michelle Davis, and her regional manager, Kendall King. They're going to come speak. When you think about Culver's and our Culver's store in Princeton, the quality of the environment that you go there, there's a positive vibe that goes on. The employees are happy. The food is good. I see buses come off the interstate for bus tours, and people are stopping and having lunch or supper at Culver's. It's a very pleasant experience. Tonight, the Princeton Rotary Club is out there doing helping serve food, and they get a percentage of the proceeds given back to the Rotary Club. So we're going to hear a little bit more about our Culver's here in Princeton, and we got the top people here to speak to us tonight. So we're going to have Michelle and Kendall come up and speak to us about their Culver's restaurant here in Princeton. Please. Michelle, nice to have you. Thank you. Nice to have you. Josie.
I think that what I want to start off with is following up with Jenica and Jim on supporting small businesses in our community. I always try to come to Princeton for Shop Small Saturday, and I was able to this Saturday. I usually do. We have literally the best small shops in Princeton. I tell everybody that, and I walk both of the districts whenever I shop, and I usually have my mom with me who lives out of state, and we just love shopping here in Princeton. A lot of people don't think of Culver's as a small business, but we are locally owned. It is a big franchise name, but we are a small business because we do own it. But we also like to support our local restaurants too. We love mom and pop shops. We're always at one of them, so we do appreciate that. But anyways, back to what we are here for. I did want to make sure that people know that it's important. I think what we should probably start out with is the positivity that Ray talked about, is because that's why we get to do so many things. We are known for a positive crew, and we do have a pretty awesome crew. They're not perfect, but we try to keep it positive. We try to be the role models for that whenever it gets hectic, because it does. Try to stay positive whenever things aren't going as we think they should be, so that our guests don't really realize that, and it makes us, I think it makes our crew more appreciative, because they're not as stressed out whenever it's going wrong. They want to have fun, and they want to come into their place of work because they have stresses outside of work, and they want to have fun whenever they come in, and I think that's really important for any workplace. So I think that's one thing. Julie, anything you want to do?
Yeah, I obviously have probably served every single one of you in this room a few times. A lot of people are always like, how do you get such good workers? I promise you that some of my workers are diamonds in the rough. And me, if you guys don't know much about me personally, I've been at Culver's for 10 years. I started at 16 years old. I was not the perfect employee at 16 years old. And I learned from my lessons, and we just take these kids, and we know some don't have good backgrounds. Some of them are a little too spoiled sometimes. Some of them are a little risky-pisky, but they are good employees, and I love that you guys are patient with them, because we know sometimes teenagers give us a headache. So it's just one of those things where I can't answer how we get good employees. I think I give them a very good tone and good structure. Like I'm flexible with sports and this and this and this and hey this and this, and I was like, all right. I agree with that. So we don't. They make me a good person too. So
they're not all like. We don't hire the perfect employee. We just try to give them
an opportunity
to be a perfect environment is what we do. Ray talked about share nights, which we have Rotary tonight. So whenever you leave here, we are donating a portion of our sales tonight to Princeton Rotary, and they're using that for the Princeton High School scholarships that they hand out every year. And we wanted to talk about positivity first, because you can't give back to nobody wants to come to a fundraiser if it's a negative fundraiser. So you have to have that positivity in your work environment, because then people want to come in and they feel good about it, right? So we have that positive work environment, and we were able to give back in a positive way. And our crew, we were talking about how pumped up our crew gets whenever there's a share night. They're busy. They are like on top of everything, and they love it to give back. So this year we had 39 share nights.
I got 3 more in December.
So we've had quite a few share nights, which is amazing. One of the things that I love is giving back to our community, because our community supports us in so many ways. I mean, you see it even more. I think you're more thankful for it after COVID and going through COVID, of how thankful you are for the community support. But I gave Kendall the
challenge. In January, I didn't have any share nights, so I apologize. And then in January, she's like, oh, I challenged you to 2 to 3, and let's just say I was doing 5 or 6 a month. And she told me I needed to slow my roll a little bit. Because I was doing like Monday and Tuesday there for a while, if you were around at that time. And the kids would be like, again? And I'm like, at this point, they just know either Monday or Tuesday there's a share night, and they're all about it. Because one, you guys come in and help run orders, so they don't have to do half of their job. And they're always positive about that one. But share nights, I've gone through the file folder of people that did it previous to COVID that I wasn't around for, because I've only been in Princeton for a little over a year. But they were like, oh yeah, we're so excited to do that again. I'm so glad you reached out. I've built new relationships with new organizations. We do sporting events, schools, PTAs, PTOs, whatever O symbol you want at the end of PT. Senior class trips, everything you can think of from sundown to sunrise, we do it with any organization. You just have to have a fancy tax-exempt thing, and I approve it. So, do a lot of church organizations around. Those are the big ones. So, we do love bringing all the communities in. I was in the newspaper a few months ago, and somebody brought me a card and had no idea who they were. And they're like, thank you for being who you are in this community. And that means a lot to me, because one, I just moved to Princeton in February, so it's good to be welcomed into a community and have a big impact. So thank you for the positivity back.
Anything else?
You guys continually provide great service, and you're right, your staff is amazing. They're always smiling, do a great job. And unfortunately, in today's society, it's very noticeable.
Yes.
You have great service,
Yes.
versus what you get in other places. But you take the credit, because you guys, your training, your skills, your example is what makes those kids great.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I would say, since we were one of the organizations that has participated in this,
You guys had a good night.
Yes, you did.
my veterans and myself, we had a great time working with the kids. And like when the orders were out, a lot of my older veterans were out there just going out there taking the food. So we took pictures at the end, and I think through the experience that we've had, a lot of them would want to redo it again. We had a lot of support from the community and support from our veterans organizations, which sometimes it's hard to get people to volunteer, but I think that was a great time for us.
Yeah. You guys have had one of my highest so far this year, so do this next year.
Yeah, yes, it was. It was a good night.
He's a regular, if anybody doesn't know. I know his order pretty well. And the mayor's.
Council, any more questions or comments, please?
So do you guys get into the competition with the other Culvers? Don't you have an annual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did not move on. They kind of do it a little bit differently than what they have in previous years. So everybody was in it pretty much until 2 weeks ago, and now they just have the top 4 stores. So we did not move into the top 4. But hopefully next year.
We're striving for
Yes,
it.
we're working towards it, and we hope so. We have really good competition, so there's that. That makes it a little bit tougher. But, yeah, hopefully.
So if you want to help us out at any point in time, just do the survey at the bottom of the receipt.
Yeah.
Let us know.
So is this compared to the other organizations which are much bigger in size?
Like nationally, every Culver's in the United States that we can see with.
And a lot of it goes off like the surveys that guests fill out is how you're doing, and with guest service in our community and all those things. They put that in there, and then we also get visits from Culver's corporate, and they're based off those as well. So we do good, but just not. We just haven't moved it to the next level. So
You got to promote and market those surveys to,
yes, we
to
did.
make you what you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a little bit of that. We did a couple different kinds of marketing for the surveys this year to kind of build that up, because a lot of people don't know about the surveys, and they don't realize that they get a free scoop of. What changed it was Shannon Manningly that at the post office. She was telling me how one time they were doing a survey thing against the post office, and they were telling everybody who walked in, and they had like a ridiculous 3,000 surveys turned in 1 month. And I was like, wow, we're lucky if we get 55. So we started marketing that a little bit more, and so now we average probably around 100 surveys every month, which is growing a little bit. Yeah.
I think last month we ended at 80. They opened Peoria at the end of Memorial Day, and they average 150 a month.
Yeah.
Which is wow. Sorry, people are judgmental.
And Michelle, how many stores do you have then, please? Where are they located?
We have 3. So we have Princeton, and then Galesburg and Peoria.
North
Peoria.
You're going into Peoria on 40, that's us.
Yeah.
That's all the ones by the malls and stuff, don't go to them. We're the one right off the 40. So. You get to see Mike, if you know Michelle's husband. Mike serves a lot, so
yeah, my
you run
husband
into him.
He's actually in Princeton tonight because we were here tonight. So yeah. He's working the shift.
Yeah. So.
Council, any other questions?
I'll just say, because I say it quite a bit about Culver. Just keep doing what you're doing because they're fantastic out there. Even my own kids are impressed by the work out there.
Thank you.
But share it with them. Share it with your employees that this positive feedback that you guys are getting.
Absolutely.
So.
We definitely do. We try to share with them every single feedback that we get.
For a 16,
We don't-
17-year-old to
yeah,
hear that, that's
yeah,
pretty
we do
impactful.
not try to keep anything away from them. If they ask a question, we share it.
That's great.
Positive thing too with our crew, it's not just Princeton kids. We have Princeton, Bureau Valley, Lamoille, Ohio, Hall. We had Henry at one point, Putnam County. I was like, oh wow, you guys are from everywhere.
Yeah, so we
and
have a
so
lot.
they mesh very well, even though they don't even go to school together. So
That's good.
that's a really good positive thing for them to build together. So.
Well, we're glad to have you. Let's give a big round of applause. You're welcome. That's our three.
That's your
We have more, though. You can take more with you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, help yourself to death. Okay, that's about as positive as it gets. So we're heading into Christmas with some good vibes here.
I'm going to go help with the chair night now.
We get it. Thank you.
Somebody's got to work.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Huh? I was in Florida this morning. I'm always busy. She's crazy.
Okay. Thank you. So now we're going to go ahead and go to old business. Is there any old business to come before the council this evening? Is there any new business to come before the council this evening? Okay. Any public comment from anyone? Okay, Jerry, if you would, please.
I move that we adjourn our regular meeting this evening and reconvene for our next council meeting on Monday, December 18th, 2023, 6 o'clock at City Hall.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCall.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming. And feel free to take some ducks with you, please.
Feel free to go visit Culver's and get a coffee mixer.
Yeah.